Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Schwartz-Reichel. My career began in music education where I learned the importance of a key change, a shift, in the tonal center of a piece of music, often used to inject energy or produce significance. Eventually, I realized the impact of making key changes in all areas of my life and the desire to help others do the same. Making key changes can be difficult. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I do like to pose questions for reflection and offer actionable key changes for us to attempt in both our working and living situations. Together, we can unlock our greatest potential in collaboration with those we love, serve, and lead. Let's discover how we can grow together by making key changes. This is episode 100 of the Making Key Changes podcast. We've reached 2 full years of weekly episodes, with our very first episode airing on January 30th, 2024. I remember how scared I was to publish that first episode. I wondered if anyone would listen, what they would think, and how they'd react. Would they come back each week? Would they share the show with others? In the beginning, it felt like everything depended on what other people thought. But over time, I realized I was the one growing. My speech became clearer, my thoughts more concise. I eliminated several verbal tics, and I learned how the pitch of my voice impacted the overall flow of the show. That first episode had a lot of downloads, probably friends and family cheering me on. Then the numbers dropped significantly, but slowly and steadily, the listenership grew. There were dips around the holidays and spikes during certain seasons, but the core audience kept expanding. You might wonder, why did I start a podcast in the first place? Well, for a few reasons. First, I wanted to get my thoughts out into the world. I felt I had something to say. As a champion of mentorship and motivation, I want to empower both youth and adults to grow as confident, compassionate leaders. After 15 years in the classroom, I saw how much students appreciated my stories and insights. And over time, adults appreciated them too. I also talk about what I need in my life. I choose topics that resonate with the key changes I want to make. Often, those topics reflect what I see on social media, in conversations with peers, or simply what feels needed in the moment. I want to be a better partner, daughter, friend, parent, colleague, and worker. I share what I'm doing or what I need to do to get there. My hope is that you want these things too, and that we grow together each week. Even though my career began in music education, this show isn't directly about music. Yes, I'll talk about music's impact or sing every now and then, but the heart of this podcast is about helping listeners make meaningful change in their lives. In music, a key change shifts the tonal center and adds energy or significance. In life, a key change does the same. It shifts our thinking, our doing, and our understanding. The key changes I often speak about on this show reflect aligning around a shared vision, boosting confidence, overcoming burnout, promoting effectiveness and engagement, and embracing change as a catalyst for growth. Episodes on these topics always generate interest, but the ones with the most downloads tend to be about the people I love the most. Like episode 91, Lessons My Mom Continues to Teach Me, and episode number 76, Lessons Learned from My Dad. Ironically, the episode with the largest number of downloads in the past year is episode number 58, Ask for What You Want. Clearly, this message resonates. So many of us move through life hoping our needs will be noticed, our desires anticipated, or our contributions rewarded. Yet we hold back from naming what we truly want. That episode struck a chord because it's a reminder that clarity is an act of confidence. When we articulate our needs, we give others the opportunity to support us, collaborate with us, or meet us halfway. Asking isn't demanding. It's advocating for yourself from a place of self-worth. And the episode that consistently gets discovered out of the blue and still racks up listens is episode number 25, titled Model Behavior, where I reflect on the ways we model behavior for those we love, serve, and lead. It's a powerful companion to the ask for what you want message. While asking teaches others how to treat us, modeling shows others what confidence, integrity, and intentional leadership look like in practice. I want to take a moment to thank the people who have been instrumental in producing this podcast. First, Dennis Karp. While he doesn't work directly on the podcast, he edits all my weekly newsletters, and many of those edits end up shaping the podcast scripts and artwork. He's a constant source of encouragement, cheering me on each week and reminding me that my work matters. Joanne Harris composed the original theme music. She's an incredible composer who took my personality, the show's concept, and the brand identity and wove them beautifully into the music. And then there's Kalen Wolfskill, my editor. His company, Ruby Media, brings businesses to life. We've had so many conversations about improving the sound quality of the show. Hopefully, you've noticed a difference starting around episode 10. We've had our fair share of computer, microphone, and connection hiccups, but we worked through them. I even re-recorded episode number 1 with improved quality. Though episodes number 2 through 9 remain original, it's fun to hear the evolution over time. Kalen is also a great person to talk to and laugh with. Finally, I want to thank you, the listeners. Many of you tune in every week. Each Tuesday, the show publishes at 12:01 a.m., and by the time I wake up, some of you have already listened. For those of you who reach out to share how an episode impacted you, please know how much that means to me. I've talked a lot about burnout on this podcast, and you know that the lack of recognition or appreciation can be a huge factor. So truly, thank you. So where will the show go from here? I'll continue creating episodes based on the changes I want to make in my own life. And I hope they continue to align with the changes you want to make in yours. My goal is to keep growing alongside you, week after week. I also hope the podcast opens the door to more speaking opportunities, allowing more schools and companies to experience the impact I strive to make with their students, staff, and clients to be more confident and compassionate. If you have ideas for where the show can go or how it can continue to grow, please reach out. I would truly love to hear your thoughts. And yes, I'm continuing to hope for sponsorship opportunities for this podcast. So, as I encouraged us to do in one of the most downloaded episodes, I will do so here. I will ask for what I want for this podcast and for my work with clarity, confidence, and purpose. I want to speak more often at companies and schools, not simply to give a talk, but to create meaningful moments of connection and reflection that inspire people to lead with courage, kindness, and intention. I want to be invited to design professional development for full companies. I want to help organizations cultivate healthier cultures, stronger teams, and more confident and compassionate leaders by offering workshops that are thoughtful, practical, and deeply human. I want to bring the confidence retreat that I recently launched in my community into workplaces across the globe. I want to help teams pause, reset, build trust, and rediscover their strengths together in a transformative experience. And most importantly, I want the work I do to reach the people who need it most, whether through the podcast, retreats, or the spaces I'm invited into to speak and lead, These are the opportunities I'm ready for and the ones I'm actively calling in with hope. Recently, I Googled Making Key Changes podcast, and the AI overview described the show as the Making Key Changes podcast, hosted by Dr. Lori Schwartz-Reichel, offers weekly mentorship and motivation for personal and professional growth, focusing on actionable steps to implement significant life improvements, especially for educators and leaders. I'm proud of that description. I'm proud of the changes I've made in this show. More importantly, I'm proud of the changes I've made in my life. I hope you are proud of your own key changes too. And I hope you also ask for what you want this year. May we continue growing together each week, finding inspiration, building confidence, and creating meaningful change in our homes, workplaces, and communities. I hope you enjoyed this 100th episode. If you did, please pass it along to someone who might need it today. Tell them about the Making Key Changes podcast. Sharing is the best way to help others discover the show. You'll find the link to subscribe to the Making Key Changes weekly newsletter in the show notes. If you're not already subscribed, I'd love for you to join us there. And finally, if you're planning an event in 2026 and want someone who can guide your people toward becoming more confident and compassionate leaders, I'm your girl. Let's make meaningful change happen together. How are we making key changes to celebrate the growth in our lives? Thanks for listening. If you haven't done so yet, please consider rating and reviewing the Making Key Changes podcast on the Apple Podcast app. If you found this episode helpful, please consider sharing it with others and joining me again next week. In my coming episodes, I'll discuss topics that are most passionate to me, along with things I've been researching or areas of my life I have changed or want to change. You can learn more about me on my website, makingkeychanges.com. Feel free to message me through there or reach out on social media. I'd love to hear from you and learn about what key changes you hope to make.